Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityurma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness unto light. Lead us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. So the second session, we're going to carry on with the verses in sequence. Verse number 4. Parichinnaiva jnanat, parichinnaiva jnanat, tannashe sati kevalaha, sati kevalaha, swayam prakashate yatma, swayam prakashate yatma. Meghapayaṃ shumaniva, meghapayaṃ shumaniva. It is only because of ignorance that the self appears to be finite. When ignorance is destroyed, the self, which does not admit of any multiplicity whatsoever, truly reveals itself by itself, like the sun when the cloud is removed. Very profound verse. This verse, it tells us the Vedantic analysis of our problems, really what's going on, a deep analysis of our problems, why we are unhappy, why we are unfulfilled, and what the solution is. It tells us the real nature of the Atman or Brahman, which we are, and also the method or the very nature of spirituality. What exactly does spirituality do? So, all of this is there in this verse. It's a very interesting and important verse. Parichinna iva ajnanat. Parichinna means limited. This limitation is the source of all our problems. We don't usually use that language. We don't think about it that way. What's the source of my problems? The source of my problems, well, I'd say annoying neighbor, that would be in top 10. And then I'm not getting parking. You don't have that problem in Calgary. In Canada, you have lots of parking space. Maybe not in Toronto, but in Manhattan, that's a biggie. Source of unhappiness. Maybe it's my health, maybe it's my financial status, maybe it's my relationship status, or my Facebook likes or dislikes or whatever. These are my problems. These are my problems. And they're the big ones, like old age, disease, death, all of these problems. But all of them Shankaracharya reduces to limitation, parichinna, cut off. Think about it. Limitation means what? What do you mean by limited? Well, I am this body, I am this person, and I'm limited in time. There was a time when I was born, and there's a time I'm going to die. This mortality, this inevitable death, this is called limitation. Parichinna, kala parichinna, limitation in time. And this is maybe the greatest source of all our problems. This fear of mortality, this fear of death. R.D. Laing, who is a psychologist in England, 1950s, 60s. She said something which I like. He said that human beings are afraid of three things. One, our death. We are really afraid of our death. That although we express in an expressed way, we don't think about it, but that's the underlying source of a lot of our psychological problems. In an expressed way, thinking about it, that's one of the practices a monk is supposed to undertake. Think about it. Somebody asked Swami Vivekananda, when Vivekananda told him to think about your own death, inevitability, and it will be very soon and it will be gone. So the person said, but won't a person become depressed when you think about it? And Vivekananda said, initially yes, but later it will set you free. If you persist with it, it will give you a great deal of freedom. But anyway, R.D. Laing said, one thing we are afraid of is our own death. The second thing we are afraid of is other people. Other people. We are afraid of people. People who are potentially threats to us. Yes, certainly we are afraid. Who might do us harm, who might insult us, who might disappoint us. We are also afraid of people who are close to us, whom you love very much, who are very close to you. They are also potentially sources of sorrow and trouble for you. The more you love a person, the more suffering that person can put you through. Anybody who is a parent knows that. Children. So, other people, we are afraid of other people. And finally, he said, we are afraid of our own minds. All of this Shankaracharya reduces to limitation. Death is limitation, that one day this body is going to die. Not only that, another kind of limitation. I am only this body and everybody else is an other to me. So other people, I'm afraid of other people. They're all other to me. The French existentialist Sartre, he defined hell is other people. Definition of hell, other people. Other people is hell. So what is this other people? It's limitation. I am this, I don't identify with them. They're all different from me. So there, among them some I like, some I do not like, and in each case it's a problem. Because I like means I have expectations of them. I do not like, I have anxieties about them. In each case it's a problem. Limitation. I am only limited to this and nothing else. Parichinna. Limitation in space. I am this and not anything else. Limitation in time. My time on this world is so limited. Limitation in object. Only this much is mine. The rest is not mine. So on. So all these limitations are at the root cause of our problems. So what do you do about it? Apparently you can't do anything about it. What can you do about the aging and death of the body? You can manage it a little bit maybe. You do a lot of yoga and gluten free, you'll go a little easier. But still it's downhill. It's always downhill. After 50, after 60 it's all downhill. You can have a managed downhill slide or uncontrolled downhill. So this is limitation. Then Shankaracharya adds a word which is the source of all Advaita Vedanta. One tiny little word. Eva. Eva. As if. Limited as if. As if limited. You see, limitation we all understand. In the moment it's pointed out what is meant by limitation. Limitation sounds like a philosophical term, but when you point it out in graphic terms in our own lives, how our lifespan is limited, our health is limited, our wealth and power are limited, our capacity for enjoying is limited. All of that limitation, that's a source. And really, that is the source of all our problems, deep underlying source. That much is easy to understand. The next thing is the dramatic claim made by Advaita Vedanta. Parichinna iva, as if limited. You are not limited. Advaita Vedanta wants to tell us something that is so radical. You are Brahman, you are limitless existence, you are not born and you will not die. Body was born and body will die. It's nothing to you. Vivekananda says it's as little as a little bit of hair falling off from your head. You don't care about it. When all the hair falls off, I'll be most happy. I don't have to keep shaving all the time. You don't care about it. Similarly, body. One body falls off. What is it to you? If you are a Hindu or a Buddhist or a Jain or a Sikh, from an Indian background, you believe that we have had thousands of bodies earlier. We have been born and we have died so many, countless number of times. In fact, if there is an expert, if we are an expert in anything, it's in dying. We have died so many times, it should be nothing to you. By this time, you are a past master of dying. But we are so terrified of it. So, we feel this limitation, we understand. But Advaita Vedanta wants to tell us that you are not limited. You are immortal. You have never been born. You will never die. Bodies are born and bodies die. Minds are continuously changing. You are the limitless, unchanging witness of the mind. All problems are body related, mind related problems. But you are not body and mind. This is so radical. In fact, if you say believe in God, it's easy to believe in God. It's not so difficult. Millions and billions of people believe in God. But to believe, to even conceive that you are limitless existence, consciousness place, that you are Brahman, that's much more difficult. Why is it difficult? Because we have a deep rooted feeling that I know what I am. I never question it. I am this person, that's all. What's the point in questioning it? Advaita Vedanta questions. It begins by directly questioning your idea about yourself. And it wants to say, these limitations you think you have in your lifespan, in your dependence on others, that others are the source of my happiness and sorrow, all of these limitations, eva, as if. That's not true. Why as if? Ajnanat, because of ignorance of your real nature. It's like being in a dream. Another example which will come soon. Full of examples. So another example will come soon is a dream example. In a dream, suppose I am running through a forest and being chased by a tiger or something like that. Or you are more realistically, it's unlikely that you will be running through a forest and being chased by a tiger in Calgary. More realistically, maybe you are rushing to catch a flight or a train and you are about to miss it. Anxiety. Many of us have anxiety dreams. Many kinds of anxiety dreams. Or there's an important appointment and you're just having problem after problem, unable to get to it. These are subconscious mind generates these things. Alright. Now, a wise person comes in your dream and says, as if you have this problem. You really don't. What do you mean as if? I have to catch a train, get out of my way, it's all important. As if. It's because of something called sleep. You are dreaming. You wake up, you will realize none of these problems are real. There is no train to catch, nothing at stake if you miss that dream train, nothing. And this realization, tannashe, when ignorance is destroyed, when knowledge arises, who am I? Chidananda Rupa Shivoham. Even in the midst of this world, Sati Kevalaha. Kevalaha means the one non-dual. When ignorance is destroyed, you realize you are one and non-dual. One and non-dual means These other people, I'm limited, this one, and they're all other than me. No, they are not other than me. They are all me. All of them. Just as I feel I am this body, I am all of them. And in fact, there is no all, there is only one. Like one sun shining through many windows and many rays of light coming through. There is one consciousness shining through many minds and many bodies, and we are all interacting as if we are all different. In the Bhagavad Gita it is said, the one Lord shining through all of us, as if divided in all sentient beings. The billions of sentient beings here, as if. But really, bodies are many. You can count them. Even minds and personalities are many. But beyond body, mind and personality is this one consciousness. And you are this one consciousness. Sati Kevala becomes or realizes, I am the one limitless non-dual. Non-dual means Advaitam, non-dual. No second reality apart from you. Though it appears to be a second reality. So this limitlessness we realize, it's already there. It's not that I am limited, I will become unlimited. So no, your limitless nature is hidden as if by the, like the cloud hides the sun, as if. Even the cloud, when you don't see the sun and the cloud seems to come and cover the sun, first of all, a little bit of a patch of cloud cannot cover the sun, which is much bigger than the earth itself. Second, even that cloud is revealed by the sun shining behind it. Right? By which light are you seeing the cloud? By the sunlight. It is by your own limitless nature as consciousness that even the problems which come to you, old age, disease, death, unhappiness, problem from other people, all of these, how are you experiencing the problems in your life? How are you experiencing the sufferings in your life? It's only because you are this limitless consciousness. That I am. Nobody doubts it. We all feel that. I'm putting this whole teaching in another way. I am, nobody doubts it. But what we do is we immediately associate the I am with a body, with a mind, with a story. And then the problem starts. The I am becomes limited. Without those, the whole thrust of this self-knowledge will be to show how this I am is actually unlimited. Notice even the I and the am. The am is existence, am, the isness, and the I is consciousness. The Sat Chit. Limitless existence consciousness is your nature, is my nature. It's there right now, just like the sun is shining. If the cloud seems to obstruct it, the cloud is blown away by a gust of wind and the sun shines unobstructed. Hastamalakacharya, the youngest student, Shankaracharya himself was young, and all his students were older than him except one. One was a young boy, and he was a strange little boy. He wouldn't speak. So today you have a lot of diagnoses as autistic, and so many things will be done to help the kid. In those days, in a little village, the parents didn't know what to do with this little boy, who wouldn't speak, who wouldn't go to school, who would just go and sit under a tree and while away his time. When they heard that a great sage, Shankaracharya, master, has come to their village, they thought maybe he can help. So they went to him and said, "Can you come and see our boy?" So he comes, and by immediately seeing that little boy, he realizes this is an enlightened being. And he asks that boy, "Who are you? Why have you come here? What is your purpose in life?" And the boy replies in perfect Sanskrit and in verse, obviously. He replies, "I am not, a brahmachari, I am not a grihastha, I am not a student, not a householder, not a forest dweller, not a monk, I am not a Brahmin or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya or Shudra, the one 4 castes. I am not the body, not the mind. Nitya upalabdhi swarupa ahamatma. I am the limitless existence, consciousness, bliss which is continuously being experienced. Nitya upalabdhi. Always being experienced. And then he gives this series of verses, which is the highest Advaitic knowledge, the little boy expresses. And then he says, towards the end of that series, one verse is there. Just as to the foolish one, when the cloud comes and obstructs his vision, he thinks that the sun is obstructed, his sun is hidden. When the cloud comes and obstructs my vision, I think that the sun has been covered. Similarly, that the foolish ones think that baddhavad yobhati, which appears as bound and in samsara, this ever present, ever free, ever experienced Atman, that I am. So this is what is said here. Meghapaye, when the clouds are blown away, angshumaniva, as the sun shines forth, as if the sun was covered, as if you were limited, as if limited. When the clouds are blown away, how the clouds will be blown away, how do we see ourselves without body, mind, that will be shown. It's there, it's coming. Swayam prakashate, the Atman is self-revealed, like the sun reveals itself. You don't need anything. All you need to do is to remove the cloud which seems to obstruct it. So, what is the nature of our problem? Limitation. But very luckily, apparent limitation, the word eva. Why is it apparently limited? Because of our ignorance of who am I. When I realize who am I, what will happen? Sati kevala, it becomes one and non-dual. You realize yourself as one reality, non-dual, same in all beings. Immortal, no problem, no question of dying. Ever fulfilled, no need, no dependence on the world, body or mind for your fulfillment. And one with all beings. And revealed by yourself, not dependent on the mind to reveal you. Just as all that the mind can do is remove the ignorance in the mind. All that we need to do to see the sun is to remove the cloud, not to reveal the sun. You don't have to focus a flashlight on the sun. Right. So this verse is very important. Nature of our problem, limitation, but apparent limitation caused by ignorance. Solution to our problem, knowledge. What knowledge? Self-knowledge. Who am I? What am I? And that self-knowledge also does not reveal you, the Atman. You are always self-revealed. It's always shining like the sun. Self-luminous. What will spiritual practice do? Remove the cloud of ignorance. It will not reveal the sun. Need not. It cannot and it need not. The gentleman asked a question. So it cannot. No spiritual practice can reveal the Atman or Brahman. But it need not reveal because you are self-revealed. So that's all. This is a very important thing. It shows you what Advaita Vedanta is trying to do. Then number 5. Ajnana kalusham jiva. Ajnana kalusham jiva. Jnanabhyasad vinirmalam. Jnanabhyasad vinirmalam. Kritva jnanam swayam nashyet. Kritva jnanam swayam nashyet. Jalam katakarenuvat. Jalam katakarenuvat. Through repeated practice, knowledge purifies the embodied soul stained by ignorance, and then itself disappears as the powder of the kataka nut disappears after it has cleansed muddy water. One possible question is taken up here, somewhat related to the question that I think Paramita asked about the persistence of knowledge after death. So related to the question, after becoming enlightened, you realize that you are Brahman, will knowledge stay, that I am Brahman? See, then two things will be there. You are Brahman, right? Yes. And then you realize that I am Brahman. So, what's the problem? Now there are two things. Brahman and the knowledge that I am Brahman. Alright, what's the problem? How is it non-dual then? Non-duality means there should be no second thing, Brahman only. You say Atma Bodha, aren't there two words? Don't they mean two things? Atman means consciousness, pure consciousness, Satchidananda. You are Satchidananda. Finished. But the Bodha is also there. The realization that I am Satchidananda. And the realization, Chidananda Rupa Shivoham. Now that realization, will it stay after enlightenment? Will there be a real knowledge, I am Brahman, and really that you are Brahman? Two things. You see the subtle question which is being asked. This is a question this is an attack on the non-duality of the self. You are saying Brahman is non-dual, no second reality apart from it. Now here's an objection. What about your knowledge that you are Brahman? Ultimately, won't there be two things? You are pure consciousness plus the knowledge that you are pure consciousness. I am awareness itself. Also, I know that I am awareness by itself. Two things. And the answer is no. After enlightenment, that knowledge itself will go away. And we immediately think, hey, that means then you will become ignorant. So you are trapped. Either give up your non-duality or give up your enlightenment. One of the two. Which one will you sacrifice? The answer is, you don't have to sacrifice anything. You will be enlightened, you are the non-dual reality, and non-duality is not affected by the knowledge that you are enlightened, that you are Brahman. How? So here another example he gives. So this is very nice whole spectrum of examples. Jalam katakarenuvat. So this was before there were modern filtration systems. Even now some places these things are used. What are they called? Alum. So it takes away all the impurities in the water and makes it settle down, or you can filter it out, and that itself is also dissolved. That also can be it also settles down at the bottom. So there's a nut called kataka. I haven't seen it, but we talk about it here. And that is powdered, and that is scattered in the water which has to be purified. So all the dust particles in the water, most of it will be pulled down by this nut. I guess it somehow bonds with the particles or something, and it all settles at the bottom. And the particles of that, the dust of that nut also, that will also settle at the bottom. So when you carefully pour it out, or you filter it out with a cloth, then you will get pure water, and the dust and the nut particles, they will also they'll also go away. They'll also be removed, filtered out. So you see, Jalam katakarenuvat, as water is purified, that dust of the nut, the powder of the nut, it purifies the water by helping to remove all impurities. But now your question is, what about that powder of the nut? Will it remain in the water, suspended in the water? No, that will also settle down along with the impurities. Exactly like that, the knowledge arises, I am Brahman. What does it do? It removes the ignorance. The ignorance is that I am not Brahman. I am body, I am mind, I am a person. So body, mind, person will persist. But you realize you are not that. There's a nice saying, the person will never become free, but you become free of the person. While the person is persisting, world will keep on appearing, body will keep on appearing, mind will also keep on functioning, and yet you are free of it. It's an appearance in you, like a movie playing on a movie screen. Sri Ramakrishna gave another example, the two thorns which I mentioned. So there's a thorn of ignorance in my flesh, a thorn of knowledge is taken, removes the thorn of ignorance. Both thorns are thrown away. Because this idea that if knowledge goes away, I'll become ignorant. It's not like that. You realize what you are, then ignorance cannot come. Because not only the world is falsified, the body, mind, where ignorance may come, that's also falsified. What will happen is, won't there be any doubts at all after you become enlightened? Even if there is a doubt, you will see without any hesitation. You will see clearly that in your radiance the mind is functioning, and in that mind a vritti of a doubt has arisen. That very doubt proves you that you are Atman. Shankaracharya's famous, there's one line which says, Yaeva tasya nirakarta tasyeva atmasa. Whoever denies this Atman, it is the Atman, the self of that very denier. You will see without any doubt. Whatever doubt comes up, that's also revealed by you, the consciousness. That's also given existence by you, the existence itself. You are the one who lends existence to the mind, body and the universe. And you are the one who lends light to the mind, body and universe. Three kinds of impurities. We did that just a little while ago. First, deepest impurity, ignorance. Then, restless. Then, impurity of the mind. So, in Sanskrit, chitta mala, chitta vikshepa, ajnana. Ignorance, ignorant mind, restless mind and impure mind. All three can be considered impurities, but the deepest impurity is ignorance. So he says, ajnana kalusham jivat. A sentient being is afflicted by the impurity of ignorance, and which is removed by jnana, by knowledge. What knowledge? I am Brahman. Just a little addition here. Interesting wording is used. Jnana abhyasa nirmalam. Jnana abhyasad nirmalam. By the practice of knowledge, the jiva, sentient being, is purified. Impure, in the impure condition with ignorance, what does the sentient being feel or think? I am this person. When it's purified, when ignorance is gone, what does the sentient being feel or think? I am Brahman. It uses the same mind to point back to its Brahman nature. How is it done? Jnana abhyasat. Interesting use of the word abhyasa, practice. Didn't I just say in the earlier session, if you say practice, you haven't understood Advaita Vedanta. So what is the role of practice here? If it is karma yoga, it has to be practiced. The essence of practice is repetition. The essence of practice is repetition. So, karma yoga has to be practiced, meditation has to be practiced, devotion also has to be practiced until real devotion comes. Knowledge itself doesn't have to be practiced, but what has to be practiced is Shravana Manana Nididhyasana. Repeated hearing this, studying this text once, twice, thrice, thinking about it again and again from various different angles, and then when we get clarity, staying with that clarity again and again. That is Vedantic meditation. The difference between Vedantic meditation and yogic meditation. Yogic meditation is focus, concentration, not allowing the mind to get scattered. So you focus on, say, suppose a mantra, Om Namah Shivaya. What do you do with that? Repeat. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. The mind can only do one thing at a time, and you are giving it that one thing to do. Om Namah Shivaya. So it will not allow the mind to get scattered. That's yogic meditation. Mantra meditation, image meditation, many kinds of meditation are there. Breath, following the breath, and so on. All of them are training of the attention focus. In Advaitic meditation, Nididhyasana, what happens is, it's more, different words have been used to describe it. Vivekananda called it assimilation. It's not so much trying to realize Brahman, you already have got clarity. Through hearing and reasoning, you have got clarity. Now staying with that clarity until it's assimilated, until you can say that honestly, I am Brahman. You don't have to say it, but you can feel it. That it's clear to you now. Another term used is, somebody said, marinated. You know, when you cook, after cooking, you don't immediately take it off the fire. You put a lid on it so that the masala, the spices are absorbed in the food. Similarly, after you're listening, thinking, got the clarity, don't pack up immediately and leave. You stay with it. Day after day, you think about it and then stay with it. Let it marinate. You soak into it. Another term used is familiarization. It's not to find something. You already found it. Once you have got clarity about what the teaching is, you found it. Now you familiarize yourself with it. Because we have become familiar with body-mind. Now become familiar with yourself as awareness. It's present now. But become familiar with yourself as awareness. Note its special features. That it's limitless. It's not born. It does not die. It does not have old age, disease, death. It does not have unhappiness, depression. It does not have excitement or boredom. You familiarize yourself with yourself. So this is Vedantic meditation. Now, number 6. So number 6 will introduce us from now on to very important concepts. All of this so far has been a kind of general introduction to Advaita Vedanta. Now the study is starting from 6 onwards. First, a very important concept is going to be introduced. This concept is called Adhyasa. Adhyasa. English, superimposition. What is superimposition? Taking something to be what it is not. You take a rope to be, mistake a rope to be a snake. That's Adhyasa. If you see something on a movie screen and you don't know it's a movie, you think it's a real car or a cops and robbers chase, that's Adhyasa. It happened to me once. I should have known better. I was in Hollywood and I was new there. So that's my excuse. I was in the ashram, and then from a parking lot I heard a commotion. So I rushed out into the parking lot. It was evening. And I saw this car come rushing in through the gate which was open. And this lady was standing near the gate. She had an overcoat. She whipped out a gun and started shooting at the car. I was stunned. I didn't know what to think. And only when I heard cut, then I realized there was a movie shooting going on. And again the car backed out, and again it came back in, and again the lady shot at it. She was firing blanks. Now what was my adhyasa? My superimposition. I took it for what it looked like. Just, it's a really it's happening. Somebody is coming and there's this person who's shooting at it. It's a real shootout. It wasn't. There was a car, there was this lady, and she was firing a gun, but none of it was real. I attributed reality to the appearance. There at least there is a car, and there is that lady, and there's a parking lot, and there's a gun. Actually it's there. Only the action is, it's acting. But here in this case of the world, This entire physical world, this body, this mind, all of them are actually not out there according to Advaita Vedanta. They are all appearances in awareness and nothing but awareness. So, you are that awareness. One sadhu said, first of all, you are the witness of all of this. That's the thing to be understood. Second, that you are witness, but not like I was the witness of the shootout in the Hollywood parking lot. No. You are witness like a dream. One sadhu put it nicely. I'll tell you in Hindi and what he said and translate. पहले तो ये जान लो कि आप दृष्टा हो. You are the witness. This is the first thing to understand. उसके बाद ये थिएटर है या सिनेमा है वो देखा जाएगा. What he said is this. First of all, understand that you are not part of it. You as awareness, you are the one which is illumining it. You means not this body mind. The body is very much part of the samsara. So is the mind. But you as awareness, you are illumining it. You are the drashta, the witness. You don't have to try to be the witness. You are choicelessly the witness. You can't be anything else. Now, what is it that you are witnessing? Is it really out there, something out there? Is it like a Broadway show, as you said, theater, a Broadway show? What's the difference between a movie and a Broadway show? So in the Broadway show, there is actually a stage and there are actually actors that are coming up on stage and doing things. You are still a witness. You are not part of the play. But they are there. Those people are there. They are acting. And in a movie, even that is not there. It just looks like that. There are no real actors there. There is no real stage there. There are no real props there. It's an appearance, light and pictures on a screen. If you say actually those things are there and I am the witness of it, that's Sankhya. Prakriti and Purusha. Purusha is consciousness and Prakriti is a real material nature. Apart from consciousness, interacting with consciousness. Prakriti and Purusha. That's Sankhya. And if you say it's not really there, it's all appearing in consciousness. There's nothing outside consciousness. Then it is Advaita. Why Advaita? Because in Sankhya, material nature exists as a second to consciousness. In Advaita, whatever appears in consciousness does not exist as a second to consciousness. Just as waves in the ocean do not exist as a second to the water. It's the water alone which is appearing as the waves. It is consciousness alone which is appearing as its objects. It is you appearing as your universe. Okay. Now this is adhyasa, the concept of superimposition. What is not there is seen to be there or is understood to be there. Look at the verse number 6. Samsara swapnatulyo hi Samsara swapnatulyo hi Ragadveshadi sankulaha Ragadveshadi sankulaha Swakale satyavadbhati Swakale satyavadbhati Prabodhe satyasadbhavet Prabodhe satyasadbhavet. The world, samsara, filled with attachments and aversions, and the rest is like a dream. It appears to be real as long as one is ignorant, but becomes unreal when one is awake. So, here we are introduced to Adhyasa, superimposition, a central concept of Advaita Vedanta. Also, Jagat Mithyatva, the falsity of the world, much maligned, much misunderstood concept in Advaita Vedanta. Both are introduced here, very important. So, alright, I understand I am consciousness of some sort, something is there. What is this world? What is this universe? He says, Swapnatulyohi. Thing to understand about samsara, about the places we are in, time, our own bodies, other people, living beings, non-living things, everything in this universe. One thing to understand is it's an appearance in consciousness. And he gives an example. Luckily for us, so many examples. Here is one example. Swapnatulya. Like a dream. Like a dream. What happens in a dream? We fall asleep and then the mind projects a new world with its own space, with its own time. You may be lying down on the bed and sleeping, but the space you are in the new world, in the dream world, is a different space. You may be in Delhi or Mumbai, or you may be walking in the park out there, but you're sleeping on your bed. Space is different. Time is different. Maybe it is sometime in the past, you're reliving something. And you have a body there in the dream. And other people are also there in the dream. Living and non-living things are there in the dream. So I'm describing a dream. So the dream, entire dream world, new time, new space, new body populated by other sentient and insentient beings. This is how a dream functions. And you are there in the dream also. And also, none of this would be a problem. But then the problem starts is, why? See, if you are dreaming, you are experiencing the world of imagination, what is the problem? It's enjoyment. It's like watching a movie. No. Then a second problem comes. A second element comes in the dream. You forget that it's a dream. You forget that you are lying on the bed safe and sound and sleeping. You are in the dream now. Exactly like that, what happens is, so here is some Vedantic metaphysics. Pure consciousness in association with the power of Maya. Maya is the power of consciousness. Consciousness plus Maya is how God is defined in Advaita Vedanta. Ishvara, Bhagavan, Saguna Brahma. This power of Maya has two capacities, two Shaktis. The Shakti is called this Avarana Shakti, Vikshepa Shakti. Vikshepa Shakti means the power to project. What this power to project does is, it projects pure consciousness, Brahman, Atman. It projects it as a world. It projects it as sky and fire, wind and fire and the cosmic elements, water and earth. It projects it as the worlds there. It projects it as living beings. It projects means Maya to the power of Vikshepa, projecting power. It projects what? Brahman. Brahman itself is projected in that way. This whole universe. Who is this Brahman? This consciousness? It's you. And as I said, it shouldn't be a problem. You should enjoy the display. Oh, by my power of Maya, by its Vikshepa Shakti, I am seeing a universe. Very nice. But no, the second function of Maya, second capacity of Maya comes into play now. This is called Avarana Shakti, the veiling power. Just like in a dream, the fact that you are sleeping on a bed safe and sound is veiled from you, and you consider the dream to be real. Similarly, in this universe, that I am pure consciousness is veiled from me. I am pure consciousness, but it is veiled from me. Avarana. Avarana means veiling. Being veiled from me. Now what is appearing to me? This world is appearing. Here is a body, here is a mind. I am this body mind. And I am interacting with other bodies and minds who are different from me. But the truth is, just like a dream, in the dream space and the time and all the beings, none of them are different from you. You, the dreaming mind, are appearing in those ways. Exactly like that here, I, the consciousness, through my power of Vikshepa and Avarana, by Vikshepa, by the projecting power, I am appearing as all of this, and all of you, and this body and mind. But because of the veiling power, just like in the dream, you are not aware that it's a dream. You are not aware that you are actually in the bed and sleeping. Similarly, I am not aware, I am pure consciousness. And then what happens? I become identified with this body mind. So, then raga dvesha adi sankula, or samsara. Sankula means turbulent, afflicted by raga dvesha, likes and dislikes. Inevitable. The moment you limit yourself to a personality, you will have likes and dislikes. If I am a body, I will like it if it is not too hot, not too cold. If I am a mind, I will like it if people are nice to me and not nasty to me. It is inevitable. Likes and dislikes are there. And through lifetimes of conditioning, strong desires are there. And then I chase those desires, seeking fulfillment. Never possible, never. In many lifetimes, never possible. Samsara starts for me. Because I have strong likes and desires, and I try to fulfill my likes and avoid my dislikes. Raga, dvesha. Raga means likes. Dvesha means dislikes, aversions. Sometimes I do it within the limits of dharma, ethics, morality. Sometimes I exceed the limits of dharma or ethics or morality. Because my likes are so much, I really want it, I don't care, somehow I must get it. Or my fears and anxieties are so much that I really do immoral things to protect myself. I tell a lie or something. And so, dharma, adharma, moral, immoral actions. And that will give rise to the papa punya, merit and demerit. Good deeds give rise to punya, merits. Bad deeds, naughty deeds give rise to demerits, papa. And that gives rise to sukha dukkha, future lives in which pleasant and unpleasant experiences keep coming to me. Just like they are coming to me now. This is all generated by my past. So here is the chain of act. Here is the chain which I just mentioned. Raga, dvesha, likes and dislikes, leading to dharma, adharma, moral and immoral actions, leading to merit and demerit. This is the law of karma. Papa punya, leading to sukha dukkha, pleasant and unpleasant experiences in this life and beyond. This is samsara. All due to what? Due to this projection and veiling. Because of veiling, this projection and veiling together, it causes what something called adhyasa, superimposition. The rope is veiled and it looks like a snake to me. This is superimposition. Superimposition is a fancy word, just means taking something to be what it is not. Shankaracharya defines it as atasmin tad buddhihi. What is not there, you see it there, or you think it's there. This is a crucial concept in Advaita Vedanta. And then he defines Swakale Satyavad Bhati. As long as it exists, as long as I am not awake, as long as I am under the influence of the veiling power, it seems to be real. As long as I am sleeping in the dream, whatever is happening in the dream seems to be real. What's the difference between seeing a dream and seeing a movie? When you are watching a movie, you are aware it's a movie. No matter how terrible, how tragic, how scary, it's all enjoyment for us. It's all enjoyment for us. It's an aesthetic experience. It's art. Even if it's terrible. But even a fraction of that if you see in your dream, you get very agitated. Why? Because the dream feels real while it's happening. Swakale, in its own time, in its own duration, Satyavad Bhati, shines as if true. Then Prabodhe Sati, once you awaken, once you wake up, snap out of it, Asad Bhavet, immediately becomes unreal, false. What do you say? Oh, thank God it was a dream. If it was a nightmare, or if it was something nice, you won the lottery or something like that. Oh no, it was a dream. So, you awaken, snap out of it. It is falsified. What seemed real to us, as long as it lasted, when you awaken from it, it is what we experienced is falsified. So, this is an example. Now apply it to Advaita. As long as we are under the influence of Avarana Shakti, the veiling power, as long as we do not realize we are Brahman, this will seem real. Seem real, not real. Even while it is going on, even while it seems real, it's still not real. And when we realize, so notice, here you don't have to snap out of this state into some other state. Enlightenment is not a state. Enlightenment is the realization of reality. Right here, in this state, that's why it's an example. If you stretch it too far, you will say, oh, I woke up from the dream into the waking, so I have to wake up from the waking into something else. No. You have to wake up to your real nature, which is present in waking, in dream, in deep sleep. There's one nature which you are, which is called the fourth. Waker and waking world, 1. Dreamer and dream world, 2. Deep sleeper and deep sleep world, within quotes, 3. And you, the reality, 4th. But it's not a 4th actually. It is the one which is appearing as the 3. Yeah. So this is the definition of falsity. Swakale satyavad bhati prabodhe sati asad bhave. Seems to be real as long as it's going on. When you awaken from it, it becomes false. That is the definition of falsity. That means when it was going on also, it was not true. Didn't really happen. That's what is meant by a dream. It didn't really happen. That's what's meant by a movie. Only thing is, our enlightenment realization will be more like a movie than a dream. Because when in a dream, you awaken from the dream, then it stops. Then you awaken to some other world, this world, waking world. But in enlightenment, when you awakened in this world itself. So it's like a movie. It will go on, but you realize it's not true. What's true is the screen. What's true is you, the consciousness. In you, the whole thing is appearing. How do we awaken? He says, Prabodhe. Prabodhe means to awaken. But how do we awaken? I understand what is waking up from dream to waking. But how do I awaken to I am Brahman here? What's the way? Answer will be given in the 7th verse. Tavat satyam jagad bhati, tavat satyam jagad bhati, shuktika rajatam yatha, shuktika rajatam yatha, yavan nagyayate brahma, yavan nagyayate brahma, sarvadhishthanam advayam, sarvadhishthanam advayam. The world appears to be real as long as the non-dual Brahman, which is the basis of all, is not known. It is like the illusion of silver in an oyster shell. Another example. Shuktika Rajatam. These are all classic Advaita examples. So what's this example? The example is somebody is going along on the seashore and sees something glittering in the seashore, and he rushes towards it. It's a seashell, but it looks like silver to him, and he wants to pick up the silver. And when he goes there, he realizes, oh, it's just a shining seashell. Actually, what he's calling here, oyster shell. Yeah, illusion of silver in an oyster shell. Exactly like the snake in the rope. The snake in the rope is an example of dvesha, something that creates fear and anxiety in you. This is an example of something that creates desire. I want it. Raga. Both of these are illusions. Both of these are appearances. Now, how do you get out of it? Here's the crucial thing. You have to realize, you have to see for yourself the ground of that illusion. What is the ground of the illusion? Remember, what is this illusion? This adhyasa. What is this illusion? Something appearing as something else. So you are seeing something there which is not there. When you see what is really there, illusion is broken. So how will the rope snake illusion be broken? You have to see the rope. How will the seashell and silver illusion be broken? You have to see the seashell. How will Brahman and world illusion be broken? You have to see Brahman. See means realize Brahman. How will this superimposition, adhyasa, that I am body-mind be broken? I have to realize I am not body, not mind, I am pure consciousness. Now you understand. When Shankaracharya sings, Chidananda Rupa Shivoham, I am of the nature of Shiva, I am pure consciousness, pure bliss. What does he sing before that? Mano buddhyahankara chittani naham, I am not mind, not intellect, not memory, not even the ego. Crucially, not even the ego. Nacha shrotra jibhe, nacha grana netre. I am not even the sensory functionings of the eyes, ears, nose, tongue. Na vyoma, na bhumi, na tejo, na vayu. I am not the five elements. These are the things which are appearing to us. Look. Here is a material world. Here is earth and sunlight and air and water. Here is organic body. And look inside, you will find thoughts, feelings, emotions, memories, ego. None of them I am. They are all appearing in me. I am the underlying awareness. This has to be realized. You have to realize the ground of the illusion. You have to see through to the ground of the illusion. Now, this is the meaning of the word Adhishthanam. You have to realize Brahman, which is the ground of this world illusion. Sarvadhishthanam yavat na jnayate Brahma. Until you realize Brahman, what is Brahman? Sarvadhishthanam, the ground of everything. What is everything? Entire physical universe here, including this body. Entire mental universe, thoughts, feelings, emotions, ideas, knowledge, desires, all of that. And entire causal universe. When we fall asleep blank, that's the causal seed state. All three universes, causal universe, subtle universe, gross physical universe. In Sanskrit, Karana, Sukshma, Sthula, Prapancha. All three are the appearance, and the ground of all three is Brahman. Oh, where is it? You! So, until you realize that, you are Sarvadhisthana, you are the ground of this entire cosmos. You are not a tiny little organic being, a little creature in a vast place, really vast place. When you come to Canada, you realize how vast the world is. I just have to stand outside in the gate here and look at the endless farmlands and the ever receding horizon. You realize how vast it is. I'm a tiny being in all of this. No. The whole universe is in you. Not in your body. not in that sense. Not even in your mind. Body, mind and universe are in you, the consciousness. This is what is meant by the falsity of the world. Jagat Mithya. What is reality of the world? It's a separate material, physical reality outside. Yes, if you consider yourself to the body, it truly is. This bottle is as real as this body, and the bottle is outside the body. The water is outside the body. If I drink it, the water will be inside the body. All that is true. But body, bottle, water, all of them are appearing in consciousness. This is what you have to wrap your head around. A monk once, we challenge each other sometimes. He's entering the main temple in Belur Math. He stands with one foot on the temple stairs and one foot looking at me. How does Advaita say the world is false? Here, I see it. Here is the temple. Here is the sun. Here is the sky. Here is the Ganga. I see myself, I see you. How do you say the world is false? I'm literally seeing it. What is your answer? My answer was, notice your language. What did you say? You didn't say the world is real. You say, I see it. Equal to, mathematically derived. The world appears in my experience. Does it appear outside your experience? The very word appear means experience. You say, no, it might be in somebody else's. There might be a planet or a star in which, just now the Indian space mission landed the Chandrayaan space vehicle on the dark side of the moon, south pole. No spaceship had landed there earlier. So that was unknown. Now we are beginning to get knowledge of it. So how do you say it was in your consciousness, in consciousness? These are questions. You must be able to answer this. There is a difference between knowledge and awareness. The whole world exists in awareness as the known and the unknown. A tiny bit of it is known. See, for example, right now, this slice of reality is something I can see, but that which is back there, you can see it, but I can't see it. It's unknown. Now I turn my eyes towards it, and now I can see it. I deploy my instruments of knowledge. What are my instruments of knowledge? Eyes. And I deploy it and see that. But now I can't see you. Turn around and I see you. My knowledge changed. You faded into the unknown, that became known. That fades into the unknown, you became known to me. But this and that, as the known and the unknown, was in my awareness. Let me put it in another way. In your dreams, when we are in the dream, we are walking around seeing something, talking with people. We also have the sense that we are in the midst of a vast world. Let me repeat that. In our dreams also we have the sense we are in a world. It seems like a real waking world, isn't it? We don't feel in the dream that I am talking to you, only you exist and I exist and there is nothing else around. That would be very weird. We feel we are in the dream. We don't feel we are in the dream. We feel I am talking to this person, and of course the whole universe is around us. That is unknown, this person is known. But when you wake up, what will happen? What will happen is you will realize that which was known to you, this person, and the vast universe around you which was unknown to you, all of it was appearing in you, the dreaming mind. Similarly, this entire universe is appearing in consciousness, and you are that consciousness. Lovely example I'll give you. Our senior most member in the Vedanta Society in New York is Bill Conrad. He is a veteran of the Second World War. He's 99 years last month. Now, he is a trained physicist and quite skeptical. So he said, Swami, it is not true that the world exists in your consciousness or my consciousness. The world exists out there. It's a real world and you come into it and then you see it. The realist worldview. That's how common sense approach. You come into it and you see it. So he asks this question often, and somebody else told me, don't be in a hurry to answer it, Swami. He's been asking this question before you are born. So you are not going to solve his doubts. But I solved it. At least I said something to which he had no answer. He said, I will prove it to you. The world exists outside your consciousness. How? Let's put a camera here, just like this. Let's put a camera in this room. When both of us will leave this room, then we will come back into this room and I will show you the picture in the camera where you will see an empty room existing without any conscious being. Room exists. No conscious being is there. Similarly, universe exists. Whether life is there or not, consciousness is there or not. This is the materialist claim. What is the answer? I said, Bill, in your consciousness you devised this experiment. In your consciousness you put a camera. In your consciousness you said, Swami, let's go out of the room. In your consciousness you said, Swami, let's come back into the room. In your consciousness, in your awareness, in your experience, you showed me the picture of the empty room in the camera. At which point did you step outside your consciousness? If you make the distinction between knowledge and consciousness, you will see. Knowledge requires consciousness. But both known and unknown are in consciousness. Alright. Again, one more little point. Falsity of the world. Advaita Vedanta has been taught in this way. Brahma satyam jagat mithya jiva brahmaiva napara. Brahman is real, the world is an appearance, and Jiva, sentient beings, you are none other than Brahman. This is the whole sum and substance supposed to be. Sum and substance of Advaita Vedanta. But people ask, what is the use of this teaching of world as false? Two uses, I'll tell you. First, surface level, and second, the deeper point of it. First, the use of this teaching. It's pedagogical, it's helpful. Why? Falsity of the world develops your vairagya, dispassion. Our likes and dislikes, which are so strongly connected with the world, is only because we take it to be real. Why do we react with likes and dislikes, terror and temptation in a dream, but not in a movie? Movie, we enjoy it fully, but we don't take it seriously. Why? Because we feel it's not there, it's a picture. Just sounds and light and sound show. And in a dream, although dream is equally false, we feel it is real. So we react to it. We get scared. We get terrified in the dream. Only when you attribute reality to what you experience, you will have likes and dislikes, raga, dvesha. In a movie also you will react, you will cheer for the hero, you will boo the villain, but that's also you understand, there's no real hero, no real villain there. It's part of your enjoyment. But not in a dream. Nightmare, you are really suffering until you wake up from it. It's because you attribute reality to it. We attribute reality. As long as we attribute reality, there will be real raga dvesha, pull and push, likes and dislikes. Samsara will be real for us. So it develops vairagya, dispassion, when we see the world as false, as an appearance in consciousness. That's one reason, but not the most important. Here is the crucial, most important, stunning reason why we should regard the world as false. What are you looking for in Advaita Vedanta? The ground of that illusion. In the snake rope, you're looking for the rope. In the shell silver, you're looking for the shell. In Brahman world, we are looking for Brahman. Okay, now let me ask you. If the snake is false and the rope is real, you are seeing a snake there. Where is the rope? Look it. Where? Where the snake is? Why? Because the snake is false. It is the same thing in reality rope, in mistake snake. That is the meaning of falsity. When the man is tempted by the silver and someone tells him it's just the seashell or an oyster shell, he asks, where is the oyster shell? There, where you are seeing the silver. See clearly, you will understand. Where is Brahman? Where is Brahman? If the world is real, then Brahman has to be elsewhere. God is in heaven. If the world is an appearance, then the question will be, what is it truly? It's Brahman. Then where is Brahman? Here, right now. Which object is Brahman? Every object. Though Brahman is not an object, but none of the objects are anything other than Brahman. When is Brahman? Strange question. When is Brahman? You will say, when is heaven? When is God? After death. But now, if I say, world is an appearance of Brahman, when? Now. And in the past, and in the future, all the time, and now. Here, there, everywhere, but here. And which object? Everything, but especially you. So the teaching of the falsity of the world is a direct pointing to the reality. If the world were real and there is some reality called Brahman, God, then you have to search elsewhere. Else when, in some other thing. But if the world is false, it's really Brahman, then you have to look, investigate here. Here means not physically into the table, in our own experience of this world. And that investigation is the methodology of Advaita. Sarvadhishthana madvayam. Here the word occurs, non-dual. See, understand what is meant by non-dual again and again. Advaita, non-duality. What is this non-duality? It means that the appearance is nothing but the ground of that appearance. The ground of that appearance is non-dual with respect to that appearance. The rope is non-dual with respect to the snake. When I use two words, rope, snake, how many are there? One. But the snake it looks different. It's something different, isn't it? It is not a second thing apart from the rope, non-dual. Rope is non-dual with respect to the snake. Shell is non-dual with respect to the false silver. Brahman is non-dual with respect to the universe. You are non-dual with respect to the entire universe. Non-dual means nothing here is other than you. Nobody is other than you. We understand Sri Ma's very beautiful last teaching. The world is your own, my child. There is nobody here who is an other to you. Learn to make it your own. Sounds very simple. It is a very deep, if you look at it deeply, that means what appears to be other is an illusion. Alright, we should go into question answers. We have about 20 minutes. Alright. So, the concepts of adhyasa, superimposition, concept of falsity of the world, concept of ground of that illusion, non-duality, all heavy-duty concepts we have come across. Use the examples: snake rope, silver nacre, that seashell, the sun and the cloud, and that nut which pulls out all impurities and also goes away itself. All of these. Use these examples to understand what's going on. Yes. Tell us your name and ask the question.
Hello, Swamiji. My name is Shivapriya. My question is, as self illuminates, like from self, we reveal self. That's what we learned, right? Self reveals self.
Yes.
So self is revealing self through illuminating power. So when the word power is coming, it is becoming an attribute. So isn't it the Sankhya philosophy is coming in?
Alright, so question is, Shivapriya is asking, you talk about the self illumining itself, or self revealing itself. That's a power, right? There you have to say no. It's consciousness itself. It's not a power of consciousness. So the light is shining, sun is shining. Is the shining a power? No, it's the very nature of light itself. It's the nature of light to shine. It's not an additional power, not an attribute. Power can be more or less. Power can be there or not there. But can the light be there and it will not shine? No, it cannot be. Similarly, pure consciousness or awareness or consciousness, its very nature is to shine. Its very nature is to reveal itself. Prakasha. That's the nature. Prakasha Swarupa. So it's not a power of consciousness to reveal itself. Yes.
This is Maya, right? Sorry. Then this becomes Maya.
What becomes Maya?
So, isn't it when the creation happens because the consciousness manifested through its power, then this, and then Purusha and Prakriti is the Maya, right? You spoke that.
Yeah.
So
No, Purusha and Prakriti is not Maya. Prakriti is Maya. Yeah.
Prakriti is
Sankhya. Right. So consciousness manifests this universe because of Maya. Vikshepa Shakti. So now here's a subtle thing. Consciousness manifests. That's its very nature. But as universe, as space and fire and earth, as living beings, as samsara, that is the projecting power of, that is Vikshepa Shakti, that is Maya. Shining is not Maya, it's the very nature of consciousness. But shining as this and that. Why this and that? That is Maya, Vikshepa. Vikshepa means the projecting power, or which makes it various. It appears as human beings and animals and stars and quarks and quasars, all of that entire material nature. Why? It is Vikshepa, the projecting power of Maya. So it's a power, that's a power. And that's why it's not ultimately real. But the manifestation itself, that consciousness shines forth. See, here is a question. Gaudapada, this is an answer from Mandukya Karika. Why at all of this is happening? Why at all consciousness is appearing as all of this? Answer will be Maya. But why Maya also? Then the answer is, Gaudapada says, Devasya esha swabhava. This is the very nature of that shining reality, to shine forth. Now when it shines forth, it will shine forth as something. Our problem is not with it shining forth. We don't want it to all stop shining. I don't want this universe, this is terrible. No. This is a wrong understanding of Advaita. Advaita does not want to shut out the universe. Advaita does not say that you should not see, hear, smell, taste, touch. Advaita does not say that you should not earn money, drive a car. No. Advaita has no problem with anything in the universe. After all, if Advaita is true, in this universe, with all its good and bad, with all its terrible things and beautiful things, it must be Brahman. So Brahman has no objection with anything. Anything here. Only problem is the veiling power, the avarana, which stops you from seeing that it is Brahman, stops you from seeing that it is you. Once it is you, once it is Brahman, problems are solved. Somebody suffers terrible injustice, maybe is killed or murdered or something. It's terrible. How can Brahman permit this? But suppose that one who was murdered, that one who suffered that injustice is also Brahman, is also limitless existence, consciousness, bliss, did not die with the death of the body, was not born with the birth of the body. The one who committed that sin, that terrible act, is also the same consciousness. You and I, that one are the same. So it's like going to a police station and say, I have a complaint. What's your complaint? That guy, I was punched. Oh, who punched you? I. Why? There was a punch. Then why will the policeman get why are you laughing? Why don't you get indignant? It's not a complaint when there is oneness. All right.
Swamiji, I'm Savan.
Yes.
So my question is, how would you define not real? Because is it because of the temporary nature of the world, the manifestation, the manifestation? How would you define the world?
Very good question. So, when this is real philosophical thinking. When you're talking world is real, no, world is not real, Brahman is real. First question should be, please define reality. What is the criteria for something to be real? How will you judge something is real or not? Then we will see whether Brahman is real or world is real or not. Because without this kind of precise definition, it all becomes vague. What are you talking about? Alright. So this is a very big topic. It's an ancient topic. Vedanta and all the other philosophies in darshanas in India, they have to give a criterion of reality. Define reality, then we will debate. And they have done it. So it's a wonderful study to see how the different darshanas, philosophies define reality. But if you want a modern, contemporary overview from a Western perspective, I would highly recommend this book, Reality Plus, David Chalmers. He is well known as the person who coined the term hard problem of consciousness. He is the head of the Mind Brain Consciousness Unit in NYU. His latest book is Reality Plus. Basically, he wants to say even virtual reality you should consider it to be real. Anyway, quite apart from that, and there's a lot of Indian philosophy there. There's a cartoon of Narada and Vishnu there, and so on. But my point here, to your replying to your question, there is a very good and thorough section on various definitions of reality. How do you define it? Let me give you one or two examples. I'm going back to ancient Indian philosophy. What are the definitions of reality? One definition of reality, for example, the Buddhists give. They call it Artha Kriya Karitvam, practical efficacy. Does it work as expected? I'm rushing towards water, I feel very thirsty, and I go to drink that water. If I drink that water and it quenches my thirst, it works as expected, it's real. But if I go and find only sand, then I realize it's a mirage, it's not real. It didn't work. So artha kriya karitvam, practical efficacy, does it work? It's amazing that the leading American philosopher from the 19th century, William James, the philosophy itself is called pragmatism. It's Charles Sanders Peirce, he started it. But William James is the one who popularized it and put it into action was John Dewey. What is the criterion of reality according to pragmatism, American school of pragmatism? Does it work? It's very American. Then somebody oversimplified that it's a cash value philosophy. Does it actually work? Then it's real. To this, the Vedantin, Advaitin says that, I see. So if you drink water, it quenches your thirst, it's real. Yes. Well, my dear Buddhist, you rush to this lake and you drink water, it quenches your thirst. Would come to the conclusion it's real? Yes. Next moment you sit up on the bed and you realize you were dreaming all along. In your dream you felt thirsty, in your dream you drank water, and in your dream you felt quenched. Will you say now that water is real? No. So the practical efficacy is not a foolproof criterion of reality. And like this, many other theories are there. So the Buddhist will ask, okay, wise guy, Advaita, a non-dualist, tell me your criterion of reality. Our criterion of reality, this is direct answer to your question. Trikalavadhitatvam satyatvam. That which cannot be negated in the 3 periods of time is real. What is negation? Negation is correction. What is correction? That which I thought to be real is false. This flash of realization. This should not happen. If this does not happen, cannot happen, then that thing is real. Now see, snake rope. I have a flash of correction. Oh, it's not a snake, it's a rope. Therefore the snake is not real. Silver naked, it's not real. Because it's not silver, it's just a seashell. Oh, correction, got corrected. Dream, I woke up. Oh, it was a dream, none of that happened. Corrected. So anything that can be, badha means correction, negation, that the earlier thing which I thought to be real is now understood to be error. Alright. Now here someone might ask a question. Okay, you are saying that something that is corrected is not real. I understand that. That's understandable. But what you consider to be real, how do you know it will not be corrected in future? You might get another bit of knowledge which will correct it. That it is not real. Brahman is not real. I now realize. I have realized Brahman plus. So the old Brahman is discarded. It's not real. How do you know it will not happen? So therefore, can you think of something that cannot be corrected? There is something, which is consciousness itself. What does all correction depend on? Consciousness. What does all existence depend on? Existence itself, Sat. Sat cannot be corrected, Chit cannot be corrected by definition. Even to correct it, you will never, it's impossible to have a cognition like this. Oh, consciousness is not real. Now I have consciously realized it. It's impossible. Every correction depends on consciousness. Consciousness does not depend on correction. So consciousness must be by definition real. Oh, I see. That's very nice. What is this consciousness? It's you. It's you. Our problem is to mix up parichinna, to take up something limited and put it on consciousness, body, mind, personality, and then weep. Advaita says, take a look at yourself as that uncorrectable consciousness, unlimited consciousness, and then live your life as body, mind, personality, no problem at all. It will be like watching a movie. You will be a blessing to yourself, you will be a great help to others for the first time. Swami Brahmananda says, after this realization, your spiritual life starts. Because it's real then, it's real. Before that you are seeking. Okay. Very good question. One should think about this. What is real? What is the definition of reality? And there are many other definitions of reality offered by the other schools. So Advaita cuts all of them down and then gives this definition. And interestingly, David Chalmers, I'm sure not going through this process, he has come to his conclusion also. It's this non-correctability that should be the final one of the, at least he says it's one of the criteria of reality.
Namaskar Swamiji, my name is Srinivas, I'm from Calgary.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time being here. Swamiji, from the previous session I had a question. The darshanas you mentioned offers the path to achieve the final outcome which you enlightened us of the two, the dukkha nivritti and the paramananda prapti.
And one single term for that is moksha.
Moksha.
Freedom.
Thank you. Swamiji, also what was very beautiful in the session was you gave us the 3x3 matrix. We work in framework, so that give us a great framework for the method to do that, which are all the yogas that you mentioned. Now, is this 3x3 only an Advaitic framework?
Only an Advaitic framework, because if you go to some other school of Vedanta, if you go to a Madhva school, they will completely disagree with this.
I was going to ask that question.
Yes. So if you go to Ramanuja, he will not say Karma Yoga, then Bhakti and then Jnana. No, he will say Karma Yoga, then Jnana and then Bhakti. The basis is selfless action. Then next will come knowledge of yourself as consciousness, and then Bhakti towards the Supreme Consciousness, that is God. That is Ramanuja. So he will privilege Bhakti over Jnana. And if you go to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he will say, just forget all this stuff. You need only one thing, that's Bhakti. Just love of God. That will do the trick. And if you come to Sri Ramakrishna, he will say all of them work. He doesn't have a hierarchy. Shankara has a hierarchy. Ramanuja has a hierarchy. In that sense, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also has a hierarchy, only. But Sri Ramakrishna says all of them work. You can take this hierarchy or that hierarchy or that hierarchy, but what he adds, Sri Ramakrishna adds, is that not that this particular Advaitic hierarchy is true. It's true. It's good. If you follow it, it will work. It will lead you to liberation. But always what Sri Ramakrishna would add is that don't think this is the only path. And that's a fact. If you go to, Sri Vaishnavas, so many great saints are there. In the Madhva Sampradaya, so many great saints. In the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sampradaya, so many great saints are there throughout their history. How is it possible that it's all wrong? And how did they become enlightened? In that case, you have to say that then the philosophy has no connection with your spirituality. That also seems silly. So it must be that through different paths, and why only within Hinduism? In Islam, in Christianity, in Buddhism, in every religion, every major religion of the world, you have had saints and enlightened beings. So different paths do work, different frameworks do work. And we are living in this age where we are comfortable with the idea of multiple frameworks. Earlier the idea was, truth is one, so the framework must be one, and others must be wrong or subservient. That's what by all sorts of dialectics used to go on.
So just one more on that same topic is, so why do certain people get attracted to certain darshanas?
Yes. That is the beauty of Hinduism, that we realize we have different constituents of our psyche. We are different people. We have come across, we have journeyed across ancient lifetimes, so many lifetimes. We have developed in different ways. So you will see some are attracted to the Advaita, this path of insight. It's very attractive. What it promises. As Sri Ramakrishna says, one flash of light destroys a mass of darkness. Who doesn't want instantaneous? Everybody else says you have to work for years, many lifetimes. No, Advaita says one flash, one instant. Of course, you have to read the fine print. Then, all other paths seem to say so much effort is required. Advaita says effortless. You are Brahman. What effort is required for you to be yourself? Well, it's very attractive. Many people, they want to understand. Without understanding people, especially in today's age, why Advaita was stressed by Vivekananda in one place, he says, it is the religion most suited to a modern mind, in general. However, another person may not find very much, be very inspired by these things. But bhakti, devotion, can inspire such a person. Another person may find all of this bhakti to be sentimental, Advaita to be just philosophizing and all this speculation. I want to do good to the world. The world is suffering and here is my Lord in all these forms. Vivekananda said, my God the hungry, my God the sick, my God the illiterate, my God the wicked. These are the God that I worship. Vivekananda was vast, so he could teach Advaita at the highest and show you that is the only path. And when he taught bhakti, it would seem that's the only thing to do. When he taught karma, it seemed the only thing to do. And he was, of course, a meditator par excellence. So if you read Raja Yoga, you feel the only way is through meditation. But all of these work. So, and they are, our mental constituencies are different and very easy to see. When you approach these paths, you will see, you feel a pull towards one. One seems living and interesting and exciting to you. The others seem alright, not bad. And we are not all exclusively or jnanis or bhaktas, we are a mix of some of that. Vivekananda had the last word. He recommended a harmony of all four. Have constituents of knowledge, devotion, action and meditation in your life. And notice, even this classical Advaita framework, it has all these attributes. Sanatana Dharma always has all the yogas. Always. But it may be put in different frameworks. I'll wrap up. Shivamaimna Stotram Ruchinam Vaichitriat Rijukutila Nana Pathajusham. Very beautiful verses there. The Vaishnavas, the followers of the Vedas, the worshippers of Shiva, all go to thee, my Lord, as various rivers wending their ways in different ways run to the same ocean. Thus, all beings run to you, my Lord. But then he adds, Ruchinam Vaichitriya, because of the diversity of taste and opinion and of mental makeup, constitution, you have a variety of ways. And that's beautiful. And Vivekananda said, each person should be a sect unto himself. And let as many religions be there as there are 7 billion people. That's good. Only thing is, there should not be a clash or disagreement or fight among each other.